Hey guys, this is Eric Johnson again with Inbox Mailers and Inbox Hacking. This is episode 2 of the How to Become a Better Email Marketer series, and today we're going to be talking about lead magnets and how to get people on your list. Okay, so let's talk about what is a lead magnet and why do you need a lead magnet, right? So after you got your ESP set up like we talked about in the last video, the next thing you want to talk about is how do you get subscribers and how do you get people onto your list, right? So a lot of people do that with what's called a lead magnet. And a lead magnet is just something that you're going to give your potential subscribers for free in exchange for their email address and joining your newsletter, right? So if you think about it like this, and most people do not wake up in the morning and say, oh, hey, I need to sign up for a new newsletter. Where do I go? Most people have a problem that they need solved, and an advertisement from you is the way that they're going to, solve that, right? And so the way that all a lead magnet is 99% of the time is a PDF or a video or a guide or a white paper or whatever that's going to give the subscriber, solve their problem, give them new information, market research, whatever it is. It really depends on what the goals of your program are. If you're just trying to get new engaged subscribers, you might do one thing. You might just give them a guide on how to do this and then say, for more tips and tricks, my newsletter does this. If you're selling a product, however, maybe you want to give them, this is how to use this product, or this is how this tool works with your current marketing automation platform. So say, for example, you have to reformat emails all the time in a CRM because people enter them in wrong or whatever. This tool will solve that problem for you. It'll go in and automatically update all the email addresses so they're all valid email addresses and mark all the ones that are invalid, so you can get those fixed, and it automates the whole thing so you don't have to go in there and do that. Let me show you how easy it is. Sign up for this free PDF. It'll walk you step by step, right? The other way, one step removed from that, is take that same exact problem of these mistyped email addresses in a CRM and say, let me show you how to do it the normal way, right? And so you show them how to do it maybe the non-automated way that's not with your tool. This is the process that you have. It's a little faster than what they would be doing normally. And then you introduce them at the end of that PDF to, or you can use this new tool from such and such, which is your tool, that goes in there and automatically does all this stuff, automatically marks all the ones that you need to fix, makes the suggestions, and then you just accept it, cutting that time from here to here, And so by doing it like that, that's a perfect lead magnet because you're solving their problem in a free way, that's what they think they're looking for. Then you're showing them something and saying, hey, this is not free, but it's a huge time saver, and it solves your problem. Most people will take that bait, from that. And so it's a great way to get people on your list and then get them right into buying your initial product or a product, that you have. And so just again, with everybody's program is different, everybody's goals are different for what their newsletter are. Think about what your goals are and then make that lead magnet a part of accomplishing that goal, right? So let's talk about first how you're going to use this stuff, right? So how do people get other people on newsletters, right? A lot of it's from advertisements, some of it's for swaps, some of it's just doing free shares and free content and free videos and things like that, and then you're pushing to that. One of the ways that if you're advertising, you have to have somewhere to send somebody, right? And so most of the time this is a lead magnet page, right? So one of the ones, I'll tell you a couple of the ones we did and how we came across this. So the easiest way to come up with what an idea for your lead magnet is to solve, like I said, solve a problem that your niche or your community has or whatever. And so in the financial investing and publishing world, people are always asking, what stocks do I invest in? What are the top tech stocks? What are the top electric vehicle stocks? Where do I put, what's the best company to buy gold in? When is it the best time to buy gold or whatever? And so all these questions are commonly searched, huge search volume. People are going to come there all the time. And so you can easily make a guide that says, here's the top 5 tech stocks to buy in quarter 1 of 2023 or quarter 2 of 2023 or whatever. So it's timely, it's, going to answer their questions, going to solve their problem. And inside of this guide, what you're going to do is you're going to, again, introduce yourself, why you should listen to them, solve their problem, give them the 5 top stocks, get them to know you and your personality, and then set them up for whatever the next thing is. In the example I just gave, we're probably going to be selling a trade room or some financial trading ideas and things like that. And so we're going to get them set up for this, next thing. It's like, and you do that towards the end of like, hey, if you like these top 5 tech stocks, if you've invested in them and they work, or you like my analysis, you're already going to be on my newsletter. You're setting the expectation for that. But join me in a free, training, or join me in a free session that we're doing, whenever, and then link out to that session. Or book a demo call for blah, blah, blah. See how you can work with me one-on-one. Just depends on whatever you are, but like use that book to solve their problem and then push into the next thing. On the other side, if you're just selling advertising and you want to get a very engaged group of people on there, all you're going to do is very similar stuff. Solve their problem, show them a marketing automation tip or trick or how to do that kind of stuff, and then set up for what you want them to do, which is stay active on your newsletter, respond to you, tell them what kind, ask them, tell me what kind of things that you have. Tell me the kind of problems that you have. What guide do you want to see next, or whatever. And then just sort of set the expectation. This is the kind of stuff I send out. This is the kind of stuff I have all the time, or whatever. Listen to me and follow me, or whatever, because we do custom videos all the time. Whatever the case may be, you want them to stay active on the stuff. Set up the reason that they want to stay active. Set up the expectations of what your newsletter are, and keep them going. So what are some examples, right? One of the things that we do for inbox mailers is a program that we have, product that we have that lets you send an email. It lets list owners know when your subscribers are in their inbox so that you can send an email. And why that's important is we found through sending billions and billions of emails this way, if you can send a person an email at the time that they're in their inbox, you're going to get about a 50 to 80%, 50 to 70% open rate all the time. And why that is because most people, when they're checking their inbox, they're going through their email one by one, and they're deleting the ones that they don't want to read, and then just leaving to read at the end the ones that they do want to read. And so they're basically filtering out all the bad messages and keeping the good ones. If you can send them an email while they're reading the emails that they've already filtered out, you're going to get a 50 to 70% open rate all the time. It's like clockwork or whatever. People do not want unread mail notifications in their box. And so like this is how they check their inbox to prevent that from happening. They want to get it to 0. So that's a product we have. The ebook that we created is how to increase your open rates by 50 to 70%. And so what we did is we gave 5 to 7 different ways to increase your open rates. One of those ways to increase your open rates is in the best way is to use our product, Inbox Mailers, and the push was go ahead and sign up for a demo of that product. And so we're solving a super common, searched question, problem that marketers have, or whatever. We're showing them ways they could do it for free and easy, and then we're showing them a premium tool that can do it way better, like 100x better than any of the other, tools and ideas. We're also setting expectations for this is what you're going to get in the newsletter or whatever. We give these kind of tips and tricks out all the time. And so that's an easy way to do that kind of flow if you're selling something, right? On the other way, right, let me tell you how we do this for like trading and financial investing stuff. We don't really have a product that we sell necessarily for some of this stuff, but we're promoting as an affiliate other people's offers, right? So we'll do, say, like, here's the top 5 tech stocks that are available, like we just talked about. I'm going to have one of the gurus that works for one of the other companies write up a quick newsletter with his analysis of, here's the top stocks, here's why you should buy them, here's what's about me, here's, why I'm cool and why I'm funny and why I'm charming, or whatever. And then if you want to get more of these or whatever, just make sure you stay tuned every Friday. We send this out, or we send this out every morning at 8 a.m. Just watch your email, box for them. But we also put in that guide an opportunity to go buy from that affiliate immediately, because most people, when they fall in love or they trust a person right off the rip, they just want to get involved. They don't want to wait for weeks to get the next filtered through thing. They said, okay, this guy clearly knows what he's talking about. Let me go ahead and get signed up. It's only $99, it's only $100, whatever it is, and it goes through like that flow. You do that same exact thing if you're not selling a paid, item on your newsletter, and you're just keeping people active and giving them free tips to build up your audience, things like that. You do the exact same thing, but your ask is, hey, just whitelist me. Hey, just watch out for my email that's going to be coming out, or respond to me and tell me this or whatever. And so it's just a different ask that you're going to do, a different CTA that you're going to do, and how you build that out, right? So now that we know what these guides are, I'll give you some ideas on how to find this. I don't know if I said this before, but the easiest way to find out what your community is looking for if you don't know already is to just use the Google keyword research tool to say what are people searching for and what are those search volumes. You're looking for commonly searched for stuff with very little competition. So if you don't know how to do that, just look up how to use the Google keyword research tool. So let's talk about how you use this and what this page is, right? So usually what you're going to do is you're going to set up a simple page. The design of it is however you want the design to be. It should follow your brand guidelines or whatever, but how I would do it is set up what the title of the guide or the ebook is, and the title of the guide or ebook should almost always be, this is the problem that I'm solving for you, or whatever. It should say that it's free because it is. And it should have a single form on there for their email address and then a simple submit button. You need to have underneath that that form that they're filling out a little disclaimer. It's not a checkbox, it's a disclaimer that says by submitting your email, as a bonus, you're going to get a free subscription to blah, blah, blah newsletter, which is a weekly report that goes out that tells you blah, 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 whatever it does, right? And so in the case of like inbox mailers, we put, for getting this as a bonus for to you, you're going to get our inbox hacking newsletter that comes out twice a week and is full of tips and tricks on how to get a better inbox placement and how to get better open rates. Okay, and so it's not even an option for them to not opt in. The whole purpose is you're getting them to opt into, yes, this lead magnet, but ultimately to your list. And the thing that you just got to think, most people are not going to go in and immediately unsubscribe. Some people are, and who cares? Like, get rid of the people who don't want to read your stuff and send to the people who do. Your goal is to make that PDF or that guide or that video or whatever you're giving them, they're engaging, introduce them to you, make them fall in love with you, make them see how charming you are, so they stay on and get the rest of your newsletter and and do it like that. So that's like an intro. You have a chance to date them really quick and get them to stay on, and that's what your goal needs to be. And so yes, some people will immediately go in and unsubscribe, but most of the time, if you've solved their problem, if you've done what that you told them they were going to do, they're not going to go and immediately unsubscribe or whatever. So anyway, you're going to keep the vast majority of the people that you get on this way, and so it's a super simple way to get people on. You can so anyway, let's stay on one topic before I get on 12 other things. So as you got this page design, you make it as simple as you can. Put the main problem that you're going to solve in the guide, a picture of the book or the picture of the video if it's a video, submit it into your ESP, and then have that ESP, whatever your marketing automation platform is, send an immediate email delivering that PDF. And so on the thank you page, you're going to say, hey, thank you for subscribing. Here is check your email in a few minutes. We're going to send you that guide or whatever. Depending on, again, on what your goals of your program are, if you're selling something, if you're not, use that thank you page as a video to set them up for the next thing. Use a video of you, say here's some of my best content, here's a promo video for whatever you're trying to sell, here's a quick, whatever it is. You can use that as a great promo space. And then they're going to check their email to get that PDF, and you want them to check that email because then it activates them inside of your ESP. So having covered that full flow of what to create, how to do the page, what's best to put in there, and that content, the other way that people do stuff is get new people on their newsletter is just by saying, hey, we have a newsletter that covers this, this, and this. Generally speaking, that does not work. The only time with a caveat, the only time it generally does work is if you're advertising in someone else's newsletter. And so if you're advertising in someone else's newsletter, and so like say it's Morning Brew, for example, or say it's like 1440. If you don't know what 1440 is, it's like unbiased news, coverage. If you're in 1440 and you're already a newsletter reader, a newsletter subscriber, it's much easier in that kind of format to say, hey, our newsletter sends, like Grounded News also does similar stuff. It looks at the bias rating of all these different news outlets or whatever, and so you get, again, another way to get unbiased news. It has a different twist on it than what 1440 does, and so you could say, hey, subscribe to my newsletter like that. That's a great way to get newsletter subscribers because they're active newsletter readers and they're super interested. So if you can do swaps with people like that, maybe you don't need a lead magnet as much, but even still, I would say it's probably better to get the free report in there as that advertisement inside of someone else's newsletter if you're going to do a swap with them, than to just say join my newsletter, because you have to have a super compelling, unique reason for them to join, and a lot of times it's not just join another newsletter. So the reason it's important to have this is, again, it's a problem-solving thing that you're providing, and like you've just given them something, and your ask is stay on my newsletter, respond to me, give me a whatever, that type of thing is. So that's why I guess a lead magnet is a way better than just saying here's my product or service and here's what it does, because people are barraged by marketing messages and sales messages all the time, and you're setting them up, you're doing it just a sort of a unique way of showing them how solving their problem with your product or with your service or with your knowledge or your content. So covered a lot of stuff about lead magnets, how to get people on your newsletter, and the flow. The next thing we're going to be talking about in the next video is what you send to them after you get them on, to keep them engaged and to keep them reading your newsletter, and to ultimately, whatever your goals are, sell them, keep them active, get them to look at it and pay for advertising and whatnot. So we'll cover that transition next week.